Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early July 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Saggies. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Sagittarians out there in early July? It's a beautiful time of year, and we're going to see what energies, messages, insights we could take a little look at here today. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in early July, please. Let's get this first card going quick. Very first shuffle, that one popped out, and I'm taking it. Because you know I like to read these jumpers, and we have this lovely lady with the hourglass. And I'm always extremely intrigued whenever this card or anyone that really relates to time itself shows up, because I feel like that's a very deep personal type of energy that a lot of us deal with. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's have a little talk about this card. So our good friend here, she always shows up from time to time. Notice the beautiful lady, she's wearing the shawl, and she has the hourglass in her hand with the sand slipping through, and it's even going through her fingers. So of course this could represent the passage of time itself, but a big thing I always say could just represent the construct. Now, we all experience time in different ways. Some of you might be in a holding pattern. There might be someone or something you were waiting for. That might be flipped, right? Maybe someone's waiting on you. That's very possible. But I always say that we all experience time in different ways. You know, sometimes it feels like the year is just flying by. Sometimes it feels like time is dragging. I guess it all depends on what it is you're going through. But for some reason or another, for a lot of the Saggies out there, the construct of time is very important with whatever situations you're going through, whether it's making the most of the time that you have, or trying to figure out how to do that, or not wasting time. It could be endless, really. So whenever she shows up, Spirit might just want to be making or having you take a look at how time is affecting you and how you're experiencing it, and not to waste it. So we're just going to put her down right there. And of course, I'm not coming at anybody sideways. No judgment here. We're just going to put her down right there. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. Shuffle it up one time here for my lovely Saggies here. My guides, talk to me. What do we have? And while we shuffle up and get this ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. The reading was titled Big Karmic Lesson, and there were a lot of karmic cards at play. So I find it intriguing that we have the concept of time showing up here. We had cycles and all that stuff showing up last week. But a big vibe wasn't that Spirit's going to serve you up a big karmic lesson right now. Maybe they wanted you to reflect on one from your past, or learning one, or maybe someone you're connected to. Maybe they were meant to be a teaching moment for whatever reason, or things that you've been through. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. So let's get it going here. 3 cards for my Saggies, please. What do we have, my guides? Talk to me. Early July 2024. Thank you. Okay, 9 of Wands. This is a very skeptical type of energy. It could be someone that's on guard a little bit. Hopefully this isn't like a speed bump of some kind. We will see how it all plays out. Just going to get that tucked in right up by the amethyst. Let's get a couple more. What do we have here? Thank you. Page of Pentacles. So similar to the other fire signs, communication is still important. It has been for a couple weeks, and it continues to be for the fire signs with that beautiful Page of Pentacles energy. Let's get you one more. So there might be blockages in conversation or communication. 4 of Wands. Beautiful. All right, Spirit might be trying to get your attention for one reason or another. Okay, Spirit in one form or another might be trying to get a message through to you. So keep that in mind. I feel like we have a lot of ways this reading can go. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into the intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, there's a couple of themes showing up here. Obviously, elementally, we have a lot of fire. which is an element you're comfortable with, right? You're a fire sign. I'm a fire sign too. I know how we like to roll. It's action oriented, it's change based in general. And on the extreme ends, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Wands, although they're a little planted, they're still fire, right? Anything could change at any moment. We have this earthy energy taken down the center with the Page of Pentacles. So a lot of this feels firm, but I feel like it could still change. Like there could be an outcome for you that there's still a possibility for it to shift or change. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because I feel like all these energies are going to interlock and interweave. But position number one, the Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior. So we see this individual, they have erected a wall, they're standing by that wall, they're looking out. So when I see this, I always say, I mean, it could be something that you've been through that you don't want to go through again, right? Or someone that's been hurt quite a few times, they have a rough history, and it's like, yeah, do I want to deal with that again? Do I even want to deal with anything close? For some of you, there might be something you were scrutinizing in this time when this card is here. You might be skeptical of a person or a situation, and it's like, I got my eye on you. That's kind of what I always pick up from this, where it's like, yeah, I'm not no fool, but I have my eye on a situation, or I have my eye on you when this is here. Now, the Nine of Wands also represents blockages of various kinds. So whether it's blockages in communications, whether it's a situation or a problem that's arisen recently where it's like, how am I gonna break this wall down? How am I gonna get over this roadblock? So we'll want to see what that's about. In its good sense, it is someone that is protective and territorial for the right reasons. But in its rough sense, as you can see, it could be problems, issues, delays. So we'll look into that further, especially if there's blockages or fallout in communication. That could really be playing a big part. Now, into the center, we have the Page of Pentacles. And our good friend here, Earth sign energy, might be connected to Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. And you see that page offering that pentacle out. Now, when I see any page, I say they're all communicators, they're all messengers, they're all students. So it could really fall in any realm like that. If this isn't a younger individual, when I see the Page of Pentacles, it's either learning new things, whether it's like a new job or a new cycle of life. It's very fresh, and that's one of the best parts and aspects about it. It could literally just be a message or a conversation coming in. So we'll clarify it and see what type it could be when the Page of Pentacles is in the mix. When we get to the rougher aspects of this page, it could be someone that's a little bit bashful, or someone that's a little skeptical to make a move. Or so when I see like the Nine of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, there's like two energies that are a little I'm on guard, I'm a little skeptical about something. So do with that what you will. We'll look into it deeper, of course. Now, getting to the back end, and this is why I said when we have the Nine of Wands and we have the Page of Pentacles, then the Four of Wands, the 1111 card, beautiful type of energy. It is celebratory. This is really nice. I always say the 1111, you might be seeing number signs, synchronicities more than usual in this time. Your guides, your spirit team, your angels, whatever you want to label them, they could be trying to get a message through to you, the ancestors. So when I see like a blocked communication and I see someone trying to communicate, then I see the Four of Wands, we're already seeing this like spirit trying to give you a heads up over something that's possible for a good chunk of you, or trying to communicate something. But aside from that, the Four of Wands can represent the home. It can represent the family. It's a card of celebration. It's a card of stability. So we love this energy around here. This could be a very good result at the end of the day. But again, with this page and its youthfulness and the wall here and this one, like these energies are very sturdy, but there's possibility to shift it out. So I think we need to dive deeper on all this. So let's get that Four of Wands back where it belongs. And yeah, let's do it, Sagi. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we have for my Saggies, please? Guides and spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Nine of Wands. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Sagi, you could drop it right in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay. Let's get in on that 9. What is that? Quick. Whoa, okay. Again, and I've been saying it since the very beginning that there is some wall that could come tumbling down for you in a really powerful way. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, one of the best cards in the whole entire deck, literally. Okay, and it's like universal, it's karmic, it's spiritual, it shares a lot of things with that Four of Wands. So all those messages I was telling you, like spirit might be amping you up and saying like, hey, something's coming, something big's coming. I'm picking that up powerfully. Now, aside from this being the luckiest card, it's expansive, it's transformative. So when I see it underneath this Nine of Wands, it's overcoming a situation where again the wheel shifts very suddenly. So it's like we have the status quo, we have something that seems to be not moving, we have something that seems to be not changing. But underneath the surface, when we clarify, this is going to happen very, very quickly, like surprisingly quick. So for some of you, it could be a surprising change within a situation, hopefully for the best, hopefully for the better for a lot of you. So that's a big thing I'm picking up. Yes, we still have the karmic energies bleeding over from last week. But when I see the Nine of Wands with this Wheel of Fortune, it's either a surprising change that happens quickly, or this is somebody waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right sign from spirit. It's like, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait till the time is right. So let's keep moving, because I feel like there's more for us to uncover here. So I've been picking that up since the very beginning, that there is something that might seem like it's not doable or not changeable, but there is quite a possibility for it to switch quickly. So let's see what that Page of Pentacles has to say. Hopefully it's for the best for a lot of you, but I think it can be, especially with these two extremely spiritual types of cards. And I'll say this too, the wheel, it's Jupiter energy to me. That's your ruling planet, Saggy. So when I see it underneath the Nine of Wands, you might be just extra skeptical or on guard in this time as well. Okay, that's just a little side message. Oh, you get a blooper reel. The card fell on the ground, and I'm going to go down and pick it up. Okay, the Eight of Wands, big communication coming in here because it's the clarifier for the Page of Pentacles. Both of these cards have a lot of things in common. Now, the one thing I will say about this this Eight of Wands, aside from talking and communicating and back and forth, for some of you, it could be a very hot and heavy back and forth. So I wouldn't be surprised if you hear from someone you haven't heard from in a while, where this is some sort of conversation of importance, which I feel like I've been getting for all the fire signs. So it's like you're up next to bat here. Okay, so if there have been blockages in communication or someone you haven't heard from that you want to hear from, I mean, there could be an opportunity to really talk it out in one form or another. But a big thing here, it's sudden, it's fast. So again, in the undercurrent of the energy, everything we have up here, things can be prone to change in this time, much more so than normal. Okay, and again, hopefully it's all for the best. There's a lot of positive cards here, Saggy, but the main vibe I'm trying to convey to you is like all these top energies are very sturdy, kind of planted, but there is fire. Now we have the wheel and the Eight of Wands. It's like the energy's building up in the undercurrent. So again, for some of you, this could just be a hot and heavy back and forth kind of conversation. Could be an important talk, of course, but the main vibe I'm picking up is something's about to shift quickly. Something's about to change real quick. Let's go in on that Four of Wands and see if this continues. And I do think it'll be for the better. I feel like this can be a claimable energy for sure. So why is the Four of Wands here? Especially if there's something that seems like it can't or it won't. Let's see why that Four of Wands is in the mix. What is that for? Okay. Okay, Eight of Cups in the upright. Okay, so there could be a person around you that's like really nervous about messing up or making a mistake in one way or another. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This could be a totally different situation than what we have here on the front end. But I have the Eight of Cups, and it is clarifying the Four of Wands. Now, for some of you, if you're planning on relocating, moving house, or doing anything in regards to property, it could be showing up here, right here on the back end. Very simple, straightforward. I will say this, though. It's very important that you don't turn your back and ignore the signs. Okay, some of you might just need to hear that. Like when I see the Eight of Cups walking away and the Four of Wands, it's like make sure you're seeing the signs, because Spirit's trying to send you omens and synchronicities to try to help steer you in a direction, or even to just reassure you. So keep your eyes open for them. I'm sure a lot of you, especially if you're watching this channel, you're noticing, you're seeing the things. But Spirit is saying there might be one that you're not quite seeing. Now, the Eight of Cups is generally walking away from something. And my first intuitive message when I see it underneath a card of like happiness and completion, I do feel like this could be someone that will eventually regret a decision that they've made. So just know there might be someone you're connected to. They might regret how they've acted or regret their actions in one way or another. Um, doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but there is someone who's like really nervous about messing something up or making a big mistake. Okay, so again, I feel like this is mostly separate from what we have going on up front, although Spirit is trying to get messages through to a lot of Saggies in this time. Maybe it's coming in the form of this reading for you. But let's go through and do a quick recap. I would say I really like the energy I'm picking up for the most part, but if you kindly look in the box before we get into the shadow, position number 1, we have the 9 of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune. So we do have a theme specifically in the first 2 alignments here. Very solid, stable, sturdy cards on the top, all action-based fast movers on the bottom. So with the 9 of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, something can be very prone to shift and change quickly or surprisingly. Saggy energy. And when I see it expansive under the 9 of Wands, you might just be a little more skeptical or protective in this time than you normally are. But again, I feel like something that you might think can't change or can't improve, or like never say never. That's kind of the vibe I'm picking up here in the front, because something could change very surprisingly. Moving to the center, you might hear from someone you haven't heard from in a while, or this is just a really strong back and forth kind of talk where it was quiet for a long time. Quiet no longer. We have the Page of Pentacles with the 8 of Wands. So if there is something that feels like it's been stuttering and it's just been not moving or progressing, it's like, boom, we got this action, this change that happens really quick. So there could be multiple situations you're going through where it's like all at once, it all shifts. Onto the back end, we have the 11-11 card, the 4 of Wands with the 8 of Cups in the upright. And all this communication and action is Spirit. I mean, part of it's Spirit trying to get your attention through the signs and omens. So keep your eyes out for them. Don't ignore them with what we see here. There might be someone you're connected to that's really nervous about messing something up or making a mistake or regret. But a big thing I said here, especially if you're like changing house or moving, there's good supportive energy around relocating for a lot of you, or at the very least traveling. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that, Saggy. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. Let's go. What do we got for Saggies, please? Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going here. What's in the shadows? Nice and quick. My lovely Saggies. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so we do have the Queen of Pentacles in the shadows for you, and that's the exact same shadow card that showed up in the Leo reading. So again, the fire signs are having a lot of similar themes. Now, I always say that generally this could be a really good card, and it kind of makes sense with what we're seeing up here in the front. This could represent business and work, so hopefully you're not going through any issues regarding money or anything in that realm. But to me, she's very abundant. She is overflowing with blessings. So for a lot of you, this could be really good energy that you don't quite see just yet. So something could really turn your way. But another thing I'll say with the Queen of Pentacles, her shadow side could be stubbornness. Okay, so when I see all this energy up top that's kind of planted, a lot of you might feel like you're stuck in a rut or like something can't shift or change. Again, I'm just going to say never with what I'm seeing here in the bottom row. Okay, because even this energy is prone to shift and change out. But for a lot of you, this could be really beautiful abundance coming in that you don't quite see just yet. Really nice, sturdy energy. So, Saggy, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The link is down below. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of another one of my favorite decks, the Wizard's Tarot. Absolutely beautiful and works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, since I have the travel bug lately, let me know down in the comments what is the most beautiful place you visited in person. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.